Alright, hello and welcome to Echoes of Color with Jefferey Morrison. How's it going? Alright, I'm going to do another whip and chat here. Craftably's Midnight Warrior by Sarah Burrier. 20 inches by 28 inches, round drill, 62 colors in total, including 2 ABs, which stands for Aurora Borealis, and they're an iridescent coated type of drill that sparkles a little brighter than that of regular drills, and 2 rhinestones, translucent faceted tops and silver bottoms. Alright, how's it going? Hopefully you're having tons of fun. Nice and safe inside from scary winter. Yeah. Yeah, that car accident that I mentioned in the previous whip and chat, I don't know if I'll know the condition of the postal delivery driver. So I don't know, went to the hospital in an ambulance, so that's about all I know. The postal vehicle got rear-ended, so that was this morning. Yeah, just scary stuff. Anyway, so I read on the treadmill before supper because my mom had to be out in the studio here for a bit after watching General Hospital, so she came back out here. I went downstairs to read, so yeah. Exciting stuff. Had supper, got the dishwasher going and everything, and voila, I'm back out here. Exciting day. It's like, yeah. Yeah, so this is like the headdress, the warrior's headdress, and her branch, antler kind of things. That's what I'm calling them for this section. So yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a color dash, I'd imagine, here and there. And yeah, that drill rage quit. Oops. So I'll just place with a pair of tweezers. Okay, there we go. Alright. So from what I read in the Wheel of Time, the Great Hunt, the second book, there's mirror realms or parallel realms to that of the real world in the universe of Wheel of Time. So yeah, and the main character can travel between those realms with an ability that he has. Not very willingly, but yeah, it can be done, and with a small group of people around him too. So yeah, I don't know what to get from that, but yeah, plot. That was a couple chapters. Yeah, it's a parallel world and an alternate reality, if you will. That's probably a little easier to describe it. And this one female character kind of had an idea of what was going on. So, I don't know. Dear knows, it's the second book in a long-running series, so there are like 2 ways of alternate travel or dimensional travel in this universe, and it's the second book. So the ways and these stone structures with carvings of various hieroglyphs or whatever, carvings or etchings of different races. Yeah, Just don't know some of the time. There's a lot going on in the book. They explain things and it's like, okay, just kind of take it in tandem, but then sometimes it carries over. That knowledge carries over. They kind of recall it slightly, just as like a reminder, hey, this is, you've heard of this before, but here's a brief explanation. Yeah, that kind of thing. A recap, if you will. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil the Wheel of Time books or any book if that means, but yeah. The characters are kind of separated into two different parties, I guess, from what I understand. It was 3 parties at one point, but then, I don't know, 3 different parties, yeah. Yeah, there's a pair of other major characters that are somewhere elsewhere, and then, yeah, it's 3 different parts. I forgot a couple of characters. Yeah, then some chapters, once they name a character at like the start of the chapter, you know what part, what group it is. It's omniscient storytelling, but yeah, it's just events described in a couple chapters, then they jump around to another character or 2 from another part. It's just, holy cow. All just telling the story. Oh, I got my steps in today for my walking challenges, at least, so that's what I go on the treadmill for. And, yeah, I'm into reading again, so, yeah. That's a plus. Alright. I think there's, like, C's up here. Yep. And it's still blowing outside. I think it's just, the snow's just drifting because of the wind, but other than that, it's dark out now. Dark in winter. So we'll just hang out and put some drills on adhesive here, hang out for a bit. Works for me. Had a productive day, so all good. Minus the accident, I kind of just, yeah, drifted our attention today. Kind of sets things askew partially. Yeah, we just heard the accident, my mom and I didn't see the accident. Saw the resulting damage from the accident, like the car, postal car being towed, put on the towing flatbed of the tow truck, but didn't see the actual accident, just the after effect. Just what happened after. I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of contemplating whether or not I should get a PlayStation 5. So there's a new Ratchet and Clank game, Rift Apart or something. It's exclusively on the PlayStation 5. And it's like just another game in the franchise. But yeah, and a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Because of what you can do in the game. The main story component. It's graphically demanding. Travel between 2 dimensions, I think, throughout the game in real time. So it's like, I don't know too much about it, but yeah, it's a shifting mechanic. So I need pretty good hardware power to get through that game. That game to run appropriately. So yeah. And Final Fantasy 16 and God of War Ragnarok. Is that right? So those are 3 interesting sounding games. Sure, God of War is fantastic, but I played the PlayStation 4 one, like the first new one. Came out a few years ago. Just God of War. Well, it's just carrying on the journey from where it last ended in the previous installment. So. I don't know. PlayStation 5s are pretty expensive, so not right now. But yeah, thanks to like a random Facebook ad or something, I now knew that there was another Ratchet and Clank game. So I played it when it first came out on the PlayStation 2, that kind of thing. That's where it debuted. Played the original a couple times. I think I went through it twice or something. It was just such a cool concept. Cool pair of characters. A Lombax, if I have that right. Lomax, Lombax. I don't know, some sort of furry creature, pointy-eared creature with a wrench, and a robot. Hangs out on Ratchet's back, and then he calls the robot Clank. So they meet somehow. Robot's ship crashed into his like planet or something. Lombax, yeah. I don't know. So potentially exciting games, but yeah, it really, I think it's like $90 Canadian at least to own like a game and buy it new. The system's still pretty dear, 400 something, 495 maybe, for the system and a controller. Yeah. Yikes. That's pretty dear right now. Well, and before it was pretty difficult to get a PlayStation 5 because of the microchip thing. I don't know if that situation's changed any throughout the passage of 6 months or whatever. So, but yeah, it's not something I need, so it's not world ending, but yeah, it is kind of nice to hear that a familiar franchise is kind of alive again, or was given another chapter, so it's cool. Alright, just doing this check mark symbol here. It's kind of like an orange. Yeah, I think that C was beyond. Yep. Alright. So hopefully your crafting hobbies are going well. If you're just watching, thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you hanging out. So yeah. Yeah, started reading a manga or Japanese comic book or comic graphic novel, Death Note. A coworker gave me first 10 volumes of Death Note and then first 10 volumes of Evangelon, which I've heard of, but not too much. Basically, big-eyed people, like anime, like Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, like that animation, Japanese animation. But it's in graphic novel form, like a comic book, in other words. So, yeah. It's not animated, it's like drawn. And it's like comic book panels like Garfield, that kind of thing. But you read it from right to left, like back of the book to the front, and that's how it's printed. Came from Japan, translated into English, yeah. But the format for reading it is the same as it is in Japan, so. It's a Shonen Jump publication, I believe. It's been around for a while. 2003, I think, was when that was published, like originally, like the Death Note. So, been around for a while. I think that Death Note story is complete. Like, there was like a TV show or something, like an anime based on the manga. So, I think the manga covers a little bit more, or is diced up detail wise. Like, yeah, there are certain events that I was familiar with, but it seems like it's condensed slightly because of the way the story is told via panels, comic panels. So some details got cut out, but in an anime you can convey a little bit more story and, yeah, character interaction for a longer period of time. Yeah, it's, yeah, probably condensed a bit, but you get the overall concept of the story and stuff, like, while reading the manga. So if that made any sense whatsoever. Hopefully I explained that slightly enough. Basically think a comic book. Yeah. A picture book with anime characters in it. I think Pokemon, probably a manga, or made into a manga. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I think it is a manga. Yeah, made into a manga. Yeah, because there are like comparisons between the printed medium, like the books and the comic books, and the animated TV show, the anime itself. So, oh, excuse me. Yeah, so it's between mediums of storytelling, some details can or have to be omitted and told slightly differently than that of an animated medium, which can convey the story more fluently. So I don't know, Death Note's like really my first Magna book per se that I've like actually read part of. So in each issue it tells you what direction to read as you go along, from like right to left. So, and then tells you how to read the panels in their certain order if there are multiple panels on the page. Top right hand corner going left. I think you just follow suit as you go downward, right to left, as you're reading. I think I have that figured out there. Some of the time it's just easier to watch it animated, but yeah. Animes are usually based off mangas. Like One Piece is a good example. So it's adapted, kind of like book to movie, like Hunger Games to a movie. Kind of like that principle. Suzanne Collins, Hunger Games, yeah. So started out as a book trilogy and then movie. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, not all novel to movie adaptations are great for some people. Like, they either good or they're totally junk. So all depends on who you ask too. So yeah. All right, we're getting there. What's kind of next over here? Yeah, T. Get a capital T out here. I've seen a couple swaths of the snowplow today, so roads are getting salted and plowed as the days gone by. So hair. Okay. It's this T that I'm looking for. Oh, 56. Okay. Oop. Alright. 52, 54, 56. Yep, T. Okay. Alright, now that I found T, color for the T symbol again. Let's dive right back in. There we go. Add darker brown for shadowing or dimensions of the... Let's put it there. Drill fell off the tip of the pen. Whoops. Alright. These drills flipped over. Yeah. do, do, do. Yeah, there's a friend of mine who likes those wrestling games, so they never fail to mention to let me know that, yeah, new version of WWE 2K is coming out. Like, oh boy. Wrestling's really not my thing, but they're just all over it, so just like go with the flow. Ride the conversation through. It's like, well, it's me talking about fantasy, science fiction books and diamond painting. That's probably boring to them, so yeah, it's about the same thing. Like somebody being passionate about something and then the other person just like smiling and nodding just to not be a jerk. But, no, it's something that they're interested in, but yeah, I don't get excited about it, but I just grin and bear it. Like, okay. Like, they're fairly good quality games, those wrestling and basketball and football and hockey. I think there are like tennis games that come out every once in a while. So like every year, like NHL 2023 or something, probably be already out. Yeah, those kind of things, they're just like updated like every year, almost. Or, yeah, I think so. They just start developing the next one right after they're done the previous one. That wouldn't shock me. But yeah, don't get really excited about that kind of stuff, but it's, yeah, just another hobby or an interest for somebody else. So yeah. Some people like drinking tea and I drink coffee, so yeah, so just something like that. Yeah, just interests for certain people, so it's not a bad thing at all. So if all of us were passionate about the same things, our horizons would probably be very linear or predictable. Wouldn't be as fun or creative to do things. It's like, oh, I like that too, so yawn, I'm bored. Yeah, that's probably what it would turn into. So yeah. That's why we have different interests and abilities spread out, so keep it interesting to an extent, I imagine. Oh, part of that free will thing. Just, yeah, different abilities, different knowledge, but working together in tandem, you can accomplish things. So that's probably why we have different knowledge and ability spread out to make a difference, to find your way. But yeah, that's just a guess by any means. Anybody have a favorite comedian that, like, been watching clips from Randy Feltface, like a purple alien puppet thing? It's a comedian, Randy Feltface. Yeah, usually not one for comedians, but I've watched a couple specials and yeah, laughed a couple times. But yeah, let me know down below. Comment down below if you have a favorite comedian or have watched one recently or gone to one live. I've just watched clips or specials on YouTube that were posted on there. So. But anyway, you've been watching Echoes of Color with Jefferey Morrison. Down below in the description, I put my Facebook profile name. Echoes of Color Facebook business page. It's really just a website within Facebook. And my Instagram. All three I just kind of post whenever I finish a section kind of thing. Just a progress photo, describe the artist, diamond painting company, and yeah, brief blurb usually, and then life goes on. It's like a 20-second read kind of thing. Very brief. I don't post like all the time, but yeah, just to get the progress news out. I just go to the next section of the canvas if I'm not done yet. Usually a kit up picture, progress throughout the canvas, and a final completed. Then it's like on to the next canvas kind of thing. Yeah, stuff like that. Also post walking challenge website, main website info for Conqueror and Pacer. I'm currently working on Lord of the Rings 5-part Conqueror virtual challenge, walk across Middle Earth. Yeah, what Sam and Frodo did in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and Pacer is Silk Road trading routes in Asia, used circa 700 BC. So yeah, just that kind of stuff. But yeah, won't receive a commission, nor am I sponsored or partnered with Conqueror or Pacer. Websites are just there just for information, just in case you're curious. So yeah. Other than that, take care. All the best with your crafting endeavors or other hobbies, and see you again soon. Bye.